Right now I'm going to be going over the LG 65UF9500 version. So first things first, this is a 65-inch LED screen and it's edge lit with local dimming, and edge lit just means that LED lights are positioned around the perimeter of the screen and the light spreads behind the LCD panel. Edge lit with local dimming means it has the ability to adjust different zones in order to improve the picture. So this is an IPS display panel, so that means you get much more accurate colors and you also get wide viewing angles. So if you're in a living room, you want that IPS panel because you might have people viewing from off to the side and you don't want to sacrifice image quality. What makes this model so great is the 4K resolution. This resolution is 4 times greater than 1080p, so you get an extremely sharp and crisp picture. And also it has a 4K upscaler, so the TV will automatically upscale non-4K content, so it gets pretty close to that 4K quality. This model has true motion 240 Hz, and this feature can be turned on and off in the settings menu. And what this means is it adds 2 software generated frames in between each frame. And what this does is it creates a smoother transition between frames and it reduces motion blur. So if you watch a lot of sports, you might want to keep this feature enabled, but a lot of people like to turn this feature off because it gives it that soap opera effect, since it makes everything look so smooth and realistic, and some people just don't like it. So you have the option to turn it off if needed. It's really a personal preference. And this feature is not to be confused with the native refresh rate. The native refresh rate on this model is 120 Hz. So one of LG's newest features is the color prime technology. And what this feature does is it enhances the color gamut by 25%. So you get a much greater array of colors, and it will also increase the brightness as well. So your whites and your colors will be much brighter than TVs without this feature. This model also has 3D and it supports 4K 3D, so you can enjoy your 3D content in the high 4K resolution. And it's also flicker free, so it will look much like you see in the movie theaters. And it also has a 4K 3D upscaler, so your lower resolution 4K content will be upscaled to close to 4K quality. There are also 2 3D glasses included with the TV. Other features is a magic remote, and this is a pretty cool remote. If you've ever used a Nintendo Wii, it's kind of like that. You can just point the remote at the TV and you could use the cursor, so it's really intuitive and it really helps navigate the WebOS 2.0 interface. It also makes browsing the web on your TV much more pleasant. So the WebOS 2.0 is where you'll find all your smart apps like Netflix, YouTube, your internet browser. All that stuff is within the WebOS 2.0. And the great thing about this model is it has a quad-core processor, so you get smoother navigation. TVs without the quad-core processor are much more sluggish when it comes to navigating the user interface, so you won't have that issue with this model. Onto the design, you probably already noticed this, an ultra-thin profile. In fact, it's only 1.9 inches thick, so it's extremely thin from the profile. And it also has that ultra thin bezel surrounding the screen, so you don't have any room for distraction. And if you're watching the TV in the dark, you won't even see the bezel, you'll just see the screen, which makes the experience much more immersive. So without the stand, this TV is 56.2 pounds, and with the stand it's 65.2 pounds. And if you're planning on wall mounting this TV, you'll want to get a wall mount that fits a Visa 300x300. And what the Visa 300x300 means is that the holes on the back of the display are 300 millimeters across and 300 millimeters down. For the inputs, there's 1 RFN, 1 component video input, 1 composite, 1 optical input. It has 4 HDMI ports and they're all side facing. It also has a USB 3 port and 2 USB 2 ports. And of course it has that Ethernet port, so you could just hook right into the internet with a wired connection if needed. So to conclude, I really like what I'm seeing with this LG 65UF9500. It has a lot of awesome features and it's definitely one of the better 4K TVs out there. I particularly like how it included the quad-core processor, so it has smooth navigation. And of course the design of the TV is extremely thin and really sleek looking. I hope you found this quick overview helpful.